Good evening to everybody out in Facebook and YouTube land. But more importantly, good evening, Pontiac. This is what it's all about. Today, we're about to go and have one of the most epic events that we have all year round here in this community. I'm talking about our Ascend Foundation, ACES Veteran Service, Legends and Trailblazers, our 4th annual Legends and Trailblazers event. And this is always a moment that has me absolutely excited and ecstatic because we're talking about history. Pontiac history. Black history on one side of it, and that's something that we need to do a little bit more of, especially in the educational systems. But when it comes to Pontiac history, it keeps falling through the cracks. And as far as I'm concerned, that is absolutely unacceptable. But that is the reason why we are here tonight, to be able to go ahead and celebrate some of these absolute greats. Individuals that their awards are named after are posthumous awards. These are individuals that have given their heart, body, and soul to their legacy and also to build their legacy. And the reason why the awards are actually holding their names. But then on the other side, we're talking about the individuals that are actually receiving the awards. These are basically Lifetime Achievement Awards. For you to even be considered for these honors, you have to have at least 30 to 35 years of service in a particular career path. And I'm talking about in the fields of education, liturgical, which is faith-based, activism, we're talking about education, we're talking about music, and last but certainly not least, a category we added a couple years ago, we're talking about the athletic category. So I am absolutely excited, Pontiac. This is what it's all about. We're about to get going at one incredible, sensational evening. So I want you to go ahead and sit back. I want you to go and get your dinner right. I need you to get that drink ready. I want you to get situated. Get your watch parties going. I want you to get your smart TVs popping. And I want YouTube to be jumping off the scales. And if I don't see you on YouTube, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Facebook, because we are about to have one sensational evening. That being said, Pontiac, let's get it. But for us to go ahead and get started, it's only right that I bring to you an absolute powerhouse. I'm talking about a woman who has been giving it to you on the Oakland County stage for a multitude of years now. It's a woman who fights her tail off to make sure that on the county level, that the city of Pontiac is going to get their very just due on any and everything that we are entitled to as a community. Besides, you know, the county seat it only sits in Pontiac, as we're about to go ahead and move it straight into downtown Pontiac. That's what I'm talking about to the community of Pontiac. So it's only right that we have an absolute true warrior to be able to go ahead and push all the agendas that we need to have pushed to make sure that Pontiac is going to be all right. Ladies and gentlemen, that being said, it is with the greatest honor that I ask that you please put your hands together wherever you are and help me welcome our Oakland County Commissioner, Miss Angela Powell, to your TV screen, or shall I say your computer screen this evening. Take it away, Commissioner Powell, and thank you for your words, and let's get it.
Hello, Oakland County Commissioner Angela Powell here, and today I get a chance to join you all in witnessing the amazing individuals who have contributed 35 years or more service to the city of Pontiac. And today, this is the 4th annual Legend and Trailblazers event. And we're going to be able to witness honorees getting honored and being given the Lifetime Achievement Awards. These awards come from individuals with backgrounds in music, education, politics, church, activism, and athletics. And what better way to give them their flowers and honor them now? Because that's a lot of years of service, and I'm just excited that we get to honor them and give them flowers now while they're living. Also, I want to take the time to thank our 2 great organizations and hosts of this magnificent event. And first one, Keynote Phillips with the Clarence E. Phillips Ascend Foundation, and H. Bill Maxey. Thank you so much for all of the work you contributed. And we forgot. I haven't forgot. You had a 90th birthday just recently, and I just want to say happy birthday. And again, thank you, Mr. Maxey, for everything you've done. And he's with the organization ACES Veteran Services. So tune in, go get your drinks, send your food, your snacks, and get ready to be entertained in seeing all the honorees that they have chosen for us to acknowledge in this year's event. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Oakland County Commissioner Angela Powell. Y'all saw her, Pontiac. That's an absolute dynamo and she don't play around. And that's why I'm so glad we got you on that county level, making sure you representing us and representing us well. Thank you so much for everything that you do. But for us to go ahead and kick off to the next phase of this program, it's only right that we gave it to you from the county side, but it's only right we give it to you from the city side. So the next individual we're about to go and bring across your computer screen this evening is none other than the man himself, the mayor of the great city of Pontiac. I'm talking about my brother, my friend, Mr. Tim Grimel. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put your hands together and join me in welcoming this dynamic leader, our mayor, Tim Grimel. Take it away, Mayor. And thank you, sir.
Good evening. I'm honored to bring greetings to this 4th annual Legends and Trailblazers Award ceremony. I thank all of you for supporting this year's event, and I congratulate this year's outstanding awardees for everything they contribute to our community. From our Clergy awardee, Pastor Derek McDonald, who's receiving the award named after his own father, the late, great Reverend Eddie McDonald, to our musical awardee, Billy Kill Bill Sumler. From our athletics awardee, Campy Russell, to our education awardees, Billy Fair and Tarleton Small, and from our political awardees, Richard C. and Lee Jones, to our activist awardees, Leona Patterson, Melvin Whiteside, and Rosa Randolph. These are all tremendous leaders who make a lasting difference in the lives of Pontiac residents. Perhaps most importantly, I want to thank Keynote and the Clarence C. Phillips Ascend Foundation for everything they do to support our young people and to give them a real opportunity to succeed and achieve their dreams. This event is what community looks like, and I thank all of you for helping Pontiac succeed.
To the mayor of Pontiac, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your words of encouragement and love, and thank you for the amazing work that you've been able to go ahead and do over the past 3 years for this community. I thank you for giving your heart, body, and soul to making sure this community is going to be good. But now, when we start talking about legendary, it's only right that I go ahead and bring to this computer screen this evening the man who is the president and CEO of ACES Veteran Services, and also part of the reason why this event is even taking place this evening. But if we want to go ahead and give the occasion on why we're all here this evening to go ahead and celebrate some of these absolute giants of the Pontiac community, it's only right that we bring a giant himself to be able to go ahead and give you those words. I'm speaking about none other than the one, the only, the incomparable Mr. H. Bill Maxey. Take it away, Pop Max, and thank you so much for everything you've done, and thank you for being the man that you are and what you're going to go ahead and be able to tell this community on what we're doing here this evening. Take it away, Pop Max.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Pontiac. The Clarence Phillips Ascend Foundation and the military has joined together to accent the positive. We are duly honored. This is our 4th year as we reach back, and collectively, we could not possibly go through the Trailblazers. So at 1 to 5, we don't slight you, but we have such a historical, monumental input into our community. So when you embrace the community based on the family foundation, you will get more than you ask for. I could highlight a few. I like to thank Billy Fair, Summers, and above all, Mr. Lord, that was here accenting the positive. See, one thing amazing, people have to understand, when a Trailblazer originator come across your path, as Keynote Phillips, and put in undoing hours and try to perfect and do perfect everything possible that gives a message. Number one, he gives a message, which really is the mission. He gives the objectives, which is the mission and a message, and the expected outcome, predictable outcome, is no doubt in my mind that with these 4 corners that circle a box, we will get the message out to our older citizens that say borderline 75 up. We have not forgot you. You're not in a barrel. It's just that we have so many positive people. One thing about our young people, stop, listen, and learn. I wish more of you would come to these sessions and understand that we all stand on the shoulder of the Trailblazers. If you want to go back to Ask Muhammad, 1444, and if you want to go back to General Sojourner Truth, and you could go out to Martin Luther King and Medgar Evers, we are standing tall, and thank God that Martin Luther King came off the mountaintop. So next year, at the same time, same station, different people, different Trailblazers, you have not been forgotten. God bless all of you, and have a great, blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maxey, for everything that you just said, but even beyond that, everything that you've always rolled your sleeves up to go ahead and do for this community, especially when it comes to looking out for the young generation, people like myself that have been able to go ahead and benefit so much off of your wealth of knowledge. Thank you, and thank you, sir. But that being said, the thing about this event, we're always looking to go ahead and celebrate those individuals that have done so much. And we always like to work hard to give people their roses while they can still smell them. But as we've been doing this event over the last 5 years, unfortunately, we've had individuals that we've celebrated that are no longer here. And one of those individuals we just lost a couple months ago. And so that's why we wanted to go ahead and take an opportunity to go ahead and celebrate and commemorate the life and legacy of this absolute Pontiac icon. So at this point in time, I'm asking that you please sit back, join me as we go ahead and celebrate the life and legacy of the one, the only, Miss Portia Fields Anderson, someone who was like a mother to me, someone who was a mother to so many of us out here. But more importantly, she was one of those legendary friends that all of us loved. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please sit back and enjoy this tribute and help us as we go ahead and commemorate her life.
I am Portia Fields Anderson, aka Frida Frump, and I started dancing at Wayne State in a non-traditional age. I was a junior at Wayne State University and never had danced before. I had an interesting reason for getting in dance, but when I did, it developed a love affair that only grew and grew.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you see the type of life and legacy that that amazing woman has lived and what she's been able to go ahead and do for this community and so much more. That's the reason why we have an event like we have here this evening, because we want to go ahead and make sure we're giving people their roses while they can still smell them. And also we want to go and make sure their voices are going to be preserved so that we can always look back to see their greatness and see all the dynamic contributions that they've made, but also too, go ahead and make sure we got a little piece of them still here with us. So on behalf of the Portia Fields Anderson family, I want to go ahead and say, we love you, we appreciate you, and also too, please, I want you to go ahead and have a quick moment of silence for all the other individuals that we've had, that we've been able to award over the years, and also the people that we've named these awards after, as their families have been grieving, but their legacy is rich, powerful, and still standing strong. So I ask that you please, let's take a moment of silence just to honor that. I thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we're here this evening is because we're trying to go ahead and make sure that we carry on this absolute dynamic legacy of making sure that we let the people of Pontiac know and anybody surrounding understand the type of people, individuals that we have walking these streets that have given their heart, body, soul, and and basically moved planets to go ahead and make sure that they were going to go ahead and move the needle in a multitude of categories. And that's the reason why we're here this evening. So ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you sit back, relax as we get ready for our show. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, our first honorees this evening will be receiving the Hank and Thad Jones Musical Trailblazer Award. And in all transparency, Pontiac, and seeing an error in us naming this award, it's only right that we go ahead and get this rectified. There aren't only two, there are three legendary Jones brothers that have made a sensational impact on the world of music. So next year, the name of the award will be called the Hank, Thad, and Elvin Jones Musical Trailblazer Award. It is not overly surprising that Thad, Hank, and Elvin were all jazz musicians. What is astonishing is that all three were exceptional, each with a distinctive and accomplished playing and recording career. By my count, the three brothers recorded 5 incredible, legendary albums. Thad playing trumpet and flugelhorn, and Hank playing piano and organ, with Elvin on the drums. As brothers, the Jones playing together were more about listening and working as one. They were more in awe of each other's abilities than stepping on toes. The brothers played with this refined elegance and taste, steering clear of elbowing and crowding on any track. Thaddeus Jones was a composer, known as one of the greatest jazz trumpet soloists of all time. He also served in World War II. After his service served, he came back and joined the Count Basie Orchestra, then the Duke Ellington Orchestra, and later joined the Thelonious Monk. He went on to receive a Grammy for all of his incredible work in the jazz world. Later, he became leader of the Count Basie Orchestra. This is what we call a Pontiac legend, and this is why we celebrate this man's legacy tonight. Next, we go to his brother Hank, who is known as the godfather of all jazz pianists. He played with people like Ella Fitzgerald, Cannonball Adderley, Benny Goodman, and Charlie Parker. He recorded over 60 albums, 60 Pontiac. He also played on the Ed Sullivan Show and also with the legendary Marilyn Monroe on her track, Happy Birthday, Mr. President. In 2009, We're talking about Hank receiving one of the greatest honors humanly imaginable. He received a Lifetime Achievement Award, a Grammy, for his incredible career in the jazz world and his contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to please put your hands together one more time for the legacy of Hank, Thad, and Elvin Jones, 3 true Pontiac legends, 3 true Pontiac Trailblazers. Tonight, we salute you. Ladies and gentlemen, our first award recipient is in the category of music, and I'm talking about we have an absolute powerhouse too. I'm speaking about none other than Mr. Billy Sumler. Mr. Billy Sumler is known affectionately as Kill Bill, and he is a world-class bass player and lifelong musician whose influence spans over 5 decades. Born and raised in Pontiac, Michigan, he grew up immersed in the sounds of R&B and blues on the city's east side. Music was always a part of his life, with local musicians frequently rehearsing in his childhood home, sparking his deep love for the art form. Billy's formal training began in elementary school when he took up the violin, a discipline he carried through junior high before transitioning to bass. His breakthrough into the professional music industry came through the legendary Ronnie McNair. The celebrated R&B recording artist from Pontiac, McNair not only recognized Billy's talent, but also opened up doors for him, introducing him to influential producers and artists who helped shape his career. By his early 20s, Billy was making waves in the music scene, forming and performing with his own bands, including the legendary Orange Lake Drive and Night Mission. These groups helped him move beyond the local club circuit, leading him to tour internationally, including an unforgettable stint in the Caribbean. His versatility and mastery of the bass guitar cemented his reputation as a sought-after musician. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have sitting here in the walls of Pontiac. Now, 50 years into his career, Mr. Sumler remains as passionate as ever, continuing to perform, mentor, and advocate for the rich musical legacy of Pontiac, Michigan. His influence extends far beyond the stage. He has dedicated himself to inspiring and educating younger generations of musicians, ensuring that the heartbeat of Pontiac's music scene remains strong. Whether performing on stage, mentoring up-and-coming artists, or representing his hometown with pride, Mr. Kill Bill, Billy Sumler, stands as a living testament to the power of music and its ability to connect generations. As he looks ahead, Billy remains committed to uplifting and teaching musicians, both new and seasoned, while carrying forward with the soulful legacy of his beloved city. His journey is far from over, and his impact on the world of music continues to grow and remains absolutely legendary. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with the greatest honor that I ask that you please put your hands together wherever you sit or wherever you stand for the one, the only, the recipient of our Music Trailblazer Award goes out to none other than Billy Kill Bill Sumler. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Take it away, Mr. Sumler.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to give honor to God and Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And I also would like to thank the Sin Foundation, the city of Pontiac, and the people of Pontiac for bestowing this magnificent honor on me. You know, I'm very privileged and touched. I never thought I would receive something like this, but God is good. Now, as far as my journey, I couldn't have picked a better city to be raised, to be brought up, to be cultured in than the city of Pontiac. It's just big enough and just small enough so we get all the ingredients in life that we need to be successful. You know, I started playing music at a young age, but from watching people like Jackie Wilson and stuff like that, and growing up, finding out this is my niche. And, you know, I started off at Bagley Elementary School, playing orchestra and all that kind of stuff. And then we migrated to the east side. And just like any other natural kid that's picking up something, a craft, I started playing guitar when I was about 12. And found out I was a pretty decent guitar, but I found out I wasn't the best. You know, I had a friend around the corner. You know, we started a little band. He said, "Can I see your guitar one day?" He said, "Yeah." He took it and he played it so well till I went home and told my mom I never want to play guitar again. But he said, "'Cause you tall, you should play bass." I didn't know what he meant, you know. So I took him up on it. But anyway, long story short, music has been my sanctuary. The city of Pontiac has been my breeding ground for all this musical knowledge that I have obtained with cats that brought me in the game. Like Ronnie McNair, I owe him a lot. You know, my first professional sessions and recordings with Pontiac's own great Ronnie McNair. I'm forever thankful for him. And people like Elvin Jones and the Gamble Brothers and Charles Anthony and Quincy Stewart, and I could just go on forever and name all the great musicians that's before me and that instilled me. Johnny Hooker Borders, my muse, my mentor. You know, so I miss him today, but I'm still here. He's still here because he's in me. But as far as the city of Pontiac, I wear that badge with an honor. Everywhere I go, I let them know where I'm from. I let them know how great this city is, you know, and I just want people to continue to try to make our city great, inspire the youths, figure out how to get them engaged, and let's keep doing great things for our people and our culture. Thank you, City of Pontiac. I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your approval, we ask that you please put your hands together one more time for the legendary Billy Kill Bill Sumler. And thank you, Mr. Sumler, for everything that you go ahead and do when you're out here all over the country and whenever you're out the country, making sure that you represent and that Pontiac name is held high. Thank you for everything that you represent, sir, and I say salute. Ladies and gentlemen, this next award going out to our honorees is named after two absolute legends in the liturgical field. I'm speaking about none other than Reverend Eddie A. McDonald and Elder Willie Elam. On March 8, 1999, the world and Pontiac lost an absolute trailblazing legend in the passing of Reverend Eddie McDonald Sr. of Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. For his lifetime of service in a multitude of years, Pastor McDonald was known as one of the most respected and influential leaders in the city of Pontiac. It is nearly impossible to imagine what the landscape of Pontiac would look like had Pastor McDonald chosen not to move here from North Carolina in 1953. On March 28, 1968, Pastor McDonald became the pastor of Friendship Missionary Baptist Church and held the position up until his untimely transition. Pastor McDonald's influence on not only on this world, but in the church extended way beyond just the walls of that cathedral. He wasn't pushed out into the community and touched the world like none other through a multitude of professional organizations. Organizations like the Pontiac Citizens Coalition, Lighthouse, and Pontiac Youth Assistance Program. Pastor McDonald also served as president of the Oakland County Ministerial Fellowship. If you ever want to get a good idea of the legacy that man pushed, not only by himself, but also what he was able to go ahead and carry over through his children, all you have to do is take a real good look at Eddie McDonald, what he's doing in the field of politics. Look at Derek McDonald, what he's doing not only from a liturgical standpoint, following in his father's footsteps, but also the impact he's made on the community of Pontiac. And let's not even talk about Sandy McDonald, what he's been able to do when he was here in Pontiac and now down in Florida, carrying on the legacy and holding Pontiac high. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with the greatest honor that I ask you that you please put your hands together one more time for the legacy of Reverend Eddie A. McDonald, a true Pontiac legend. Next we have Elder Willie George Elam Sr. Elder Elam was known as the patriarch of the legendary Elam family of Pontiac, Michigan. Elder Elam remained steadfast in the apostles' doctrine, at which time he founded and began pastoring at Christ Temple Apostolic Church on Sanford Street, and a few years later moved to 539 South Paddock Street. For all our Eastsiders, is better known as the White House on the Hill. Elder Elam was an active member of the Northern District Council of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World. He was district elder of the 19th District and was very active in most auxiliaries. Even with that, it pales in comparison to his 55 years of service in which he gave back to the Pontiac community. And he did that through a multitude of initiatives, everything from give back initiatives all the way through educational pushes. Educational pushes that saw him giving 15 years of his life to the Pontiac School District Board of Education. Words in the English language fail when one tries to describe Elder Willie G. Elam Sr. and all that he stood for. He was also known as the modern-day Abraham because of everything that he did for the community of Pontiac. On February 4th in 2018, he went on to go ahead and join the Lord. But prior to him passing, he left a legacy that's rich and it still stands with the Elam family today. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you please put your hands together one more time for the life and legacy of Elder Willie George Elam Sr., a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, our next award recipient is in a liturgical category, and I'm talking about somebody who is moving and shaking planets. I'm talking about none other than my brother, the incomparable Reverend Derek McDonald. Reverend McDonald is a proud graduate of Pontiac Northern High School. He began his professional career at General Motors Corporation in the engineering printing department. Committed to furthering his education, he earned a Bachelor's of Science degree from Northwood Institute in Midland, Michigan. Over the years, he's held leadership positions with General Motors, Healthcare Service Corporation in Illinois, Lear Corporation, and ultimately retired as Vice President of Human Resources for Comer Holdings. Reverend McDonald has been deeply rooted in ministry for over 3 decades, dedicating his life to serving others. Raised under the spiritual guidance of his father, the late legendary pastor Eddie A. McDonald, which this award is named after. He accepted his call to ministry on January 23, 1999, and was licensed to preach on March 21st of the same year. Under the leadership of Dr. William H. Delaney, he was ordained as a gospel minister on November 24th of 2002. Throughout his ministry, he has preached, taught, and lectured at churches across district, state, and regional levels, contributing to organizations such as the Crystal Lake District Congress Association, the Wolverine State Congress, and the Walter Cade Regional Workshop of the National Baptist Convention. He currently serves as the Dean of the Crystal Lake Baptist District Association and remains actively engaged in evangelistic outreach. In April of 2008, Reverend McDonald was called to pastor Prospect Missionary Baptist Church in Pontiac, Michigan, where he has led with a vision of transformation and growth. Under his leadership, the congregation has expanded not only in size, but in spiritual depth, reflecting his belief that the church must continue to make disciples to fulfill Christ's mission. He holds a Mastery of Ministry degree with the Masters International School of Divinity and remains dedicated to lifelong learning, believing that the call to ministry is also a call to preparation. Beyond the church walls, Reverend McDonald is a devoted community leader with a passion for youth development and social impact. He founded the Max Bears football organization, which previously participated in the Pontiac Recreational League, and has actively worked with the OU Peace Michigan ACE initiative and the Pontiac Resilience Group to address trauma and mental health challenges in the community, and especially with children. As a co-pillar lead for the Birth to 16 OU Pontiac initiative, he has played a crucial role in promoting education and youth empowerment. During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Reverend McDonald demonstrated his commitment to education and public health by establishing a virtual learning center to support Pontiac students, as well as organizing a COVID-19 testing and vaccination clinic. He continues his work in literacy advocacy, partnering with the Pontiac Collective Impact Partnership and the Center for Success to establish the City of Pontiac's very first literacy house. Reverend McDonald has also served on Mayor Grimer's transition team and is a key participant in the Oakland County Sheriff's Department Community Policing and Education Series. This series has been so impactful for this community. His leadership extends into the healthcare sector as the chair of the McLaren Oakland Board of Trustees, where he helps guide initiatives to improve community health services. That's what I'm talking about, Pontiac, and this man is sitting right here in the walls of this city. Through his ministry and civic engagement, Reverend McDonald has led his congregation to be an active force for good throughout Pontiac and beyond. His vision remains centered on evangelism and community, restoring the church's vital role in society and sharing the love of Jesus Christ through service and outreach. Reverend McDonald is married to Barbara Herring McDonald, and together they are blessed with two incredible children, that is Antonio and Jennifer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you make your existence count. It is with the greatest honor that I ask wherever you are to please put your hands together for the one, the only, Pastor Derek McDonald, a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together.
I would like to thank Mr. Keynote Phillips and the Clarence E. Phillips Ascend Foundation, its board of directors, all of its members for this great honor. Certainly, I'm truly humbled to receive this honor, named after two outstanding pastors in our city, Elder Willie Elam and Pastor Eddie A. McDonald. Certainly, we know the legacy that both of them left. We know that they were great servants. We know that they were great community leaders, and we know that they did all that they could do to improve the lives of people in this city. So while I am truly grateful and thankful, I am certainly humbled to receive this award on this day. Certainly I'd like to thank so very many people for making this possible. It certainly does start with my father, who certainly left a strong legacy, big shoes to fill. Certainly for my mother as well, who was always by his side as he did everything that he could do to improve the lives of this city. I am truly grateful and thankful also to my wife, who was always by my side, that I might be able to be a servant, first and foremost to the Lord Jesus Christ, and then to the citizens of this great community of the city of Pontiac. So again, I am deeply humbled, I am deeply grateful, I am deeply thankful. And again, I'm always reminded of the thing that my father always instilled in us, specifically as preachers and pastors, and he tells us very clearly that our ministry must be a total man ministry. It's not just about what we preach on Sunday, but that we must be doing things throughout the week to make certain that we are trying to better the lives of other people. So again, thank you. God bless you. God keep you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please put your hands together one more time for the amazing Pastor Derek McDonald, a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. But next, it is only right that I go ahead and bring true county leadership to the TV screen this evening. I'm talking about someone who's been getting it done over the last 5 years, and he has been moving and shaking this county and putting it upside down to give us all the things that we need to go ahead and make sure this county is going to be covered, and especially the community of Pontiac. He's doing that by moving county services right down to the heart of downtown Pontiac. I'm speaking about none other than someone who is an absolute friend to me. I'm speaking about the man himself, Oakland County Executive, Mr. Dave Coulter. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Executive Coulter to your computer screen, or whether it be your TV screen this evening. Take it away, Executive Coulter, and thank you very much, sir, for being a part of our event this evening.
So thank you to Keynote and the Ascend Foundation for inviting me back to the annual Pontiac Legends and Trailblazers Award. I'm excited to be here to acknowledge the work that Ascend Foundation is doing to lift up and honor Black history and voices. Please join me in congratulating all the award recipients and honorees. Their hard work, dedication, and commitment to service in Pontiac and throughout their communities is inspiring. These legends and trailblazers we recognize tonight leaned into the work to move Pontiac and their communities forward during one of our most challenging times. None of them shied away from rolling up their sleeves and doing the work that needed to be done during the COVID-19 pandemic. My vision for Oakland County is to be in all ways moving forward. That means a relentless pursuit of what elevates Oakland County and all residents. The Ascend Foundation's honorees exemplify what it means to be always moving forward. I'm grateful to Keynote and the Ascend Foundation for celebrating these legends, their love of neighbors, their commitment to service. Do not stop in all ways moving Pontiac and Oakland County forward. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Executive Coulter, for your amazing words of encouragement and just the acknowledgement of how dynamic of a history that the community of Pontiac has and the amazing contribution that all these dynamic individuals have been able to go ahead and make over the years. What I want to say to you is thank you, sir, for always being there for the community in Pontiac, and we appreciate you. But let's get to our next award recipient. The next award going out to our honorees is for the field of athletics. We're about to present to you the award recipients of the Percy McConnor Cy Green Athletic Trailblazer Award. The legendary planet-moving Percy McConnor was an outstanding fast-pitch softball player whose career began in 1938 in the city of Pontiac with a team called West Joy Shop. His career spanned the next 21 years, playing with 9 different teams from Detroit, Lansing, Flint, Toronto, and Pontiac. He played on such teams as the Wizards, Tip Tops, Shaw's Jewelers, and more famously, the Joe Louis Bombers. One of McConnor's most treasured moments occurred in 1950 in Austin, Texas, while he was playing with the Toronto Tip Tops. It was then that he pitched the first perfect game in ASA National Tournament history. McConnor successfully retired 21 batters while his teammates struggled through a 1-0 victory. Prior to his tremendous, legendary softball career, he played in the Negro League, where he was a standout player. It was here that he started building his reputation as a fierce competitor. Before that, he was a Golden Gloves boxer that was known for putting people on their backs with his fighting ability and natural athletic gifts. By 1965, Mr. McConnor retired from the game of softball as a player, but his contributions to the game continued as a coach until 1976. In the spring of 1982, the city of Pontiac gave Percy its highest honor in resolution form and with its newest lighted field facility named and dedicated in his honor. It was at this time that the Percy McConnor Field was born at Aaron Perry Park. Over 100,000 kids have learned to play or went to battle on that field. Percy E. McConnor was a City of Pontiac's employee for 26 years, and he became an outstanding volunteer and fighter for senior citizens and their rights. He was also on hand each softball season to present the championship award to teams on his field. Mr. McConnor became the first African-American softball player to be named to the ASA National Hall of Fame, shortly followed by his friend and teammate and brother-in-arms, the late Charles Justice, an absolute legend within himself. They were both also inducted into the Michigan ASA Hall of Fame. That is absolute something that is beyond a glorious achievement. What made this so special is the fact that African Americans and Latinos were repeatedly being overlooked to be included in that pantheon of greats. Truly, 2 champions in the arena of fast-pitch softball, we finally saw justice take place. Talking about legendary, his running crew and circles of brothers were the legendary Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, and Coleman Young. They were the best of friends, and you know that there was much stuff being talked at that table. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the celebration of life and legacy of the one, the only, legendary Mr. Percy McConnor, a true Pontiac legend. Next we have the immeasurable, incomparable Coach Robert Cy Green. Coach Green was known as a legendary competitor when he actually played athletics, doing that through the NBA as a professional basketball player. But not only that, a lot of people don't understand exactly how dynamic he was even on the softball field. From the time that he was imported up here from Tennessee, did he make his presence count. He did this by touching the lives of so many different children, not only from a classroom standpoint, as he was also known as one of the most dynamic educators that the city has seen as well, but beyond that, taking his mentorship by using his athletic gifts to be able to pull children in, put them up underneath his umbrella, give them and show them a better way of life that was going to go ahead and provide a dynamic living for themselves as well as their families or future families to come. He did this by making sure that every student that came into his classroom was going to go ahead and reach their greatness. Not only as student athletes, oh, no. If you walked into that class, you better make sure that you came ready to give the very best that you had to go ahead and give, because he knew what was in stake for you. He knew life was waiting for you at the point of graduation. And so you had to be prepared, and there was no way he was going to let you go ahead and fail on his watch. He was also that mentor that stepped into the gap of a lot of kids who needed a father figure. And so when we say need a father figure, he treated you just as such. Whether you had a father in the household or whether you didn't, he's that one that's going to go and have you hemmed up in the hallway if he heard or found out you did something you had no business doing. If you were going to do something destructive inside of this thing that we call life, he was going to make sure he let you know about it, and you were going to go ahead and get it corrected, because this is the type of man that he was. He gave absolute greatness to everybody around him because he was the walking personification of the word greatness. And it was that same greatness that he took over into the basketball court by going against other legendary Hall of Fame caliber coaches like Pontiac Central's Ralph Grubb and also Clarkson's Dan Fife. It was because of these wars that he was able to go ahead and forge this dynamic inside of the heart and souls and DNA of his students as well as his athletes, to go ahead and help them to push away mediocrity, to make sure that their presence is going to go ahead and count. But to go ahead and push this further, he decided, I need to go ahead and make sure when summertime hits, there was going to be something that was going to be in place to go ahead and help kids hone their skills when it came to basketball, but also too to give them something that was going to be a component to find the type of guidance that they needed for life. And so he did that by getting together with Bill Glover and Kenny Core and creating the Village Basketball Camp, which still stands to this day. And we're talking about, this is over 30 years ago. This is what it's all about. That's how you create a legacy. But it was in 1996 when he actually transitioned on that this actual community was rocked to its core. And from that, the best way to go ahead and commemorate this man's life and legacy was to actually dedicate a gymnasium in his name. The gymnasium that basically he built. We call it the gym that Cy built. I'm talking about Pontiac Northern, but now Pontiac High School's gymnasium, named so covetedly the Cy Green Gymnasium, where so many children, hundreds of children, have come into that gymnasium trying to go ahead and find exactly where their gifts are going to go ahead and take them, where their purpose is going to go ahead and land them. That's how you go ahead and create a legacy, something that's going to go ahead and last far beyond our existence. And that is what Coach Green did. And that is what Coach Green means to this community. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with the greatest honor and privilege that I ask that you please join me in honoring the legacy and life of Coach Robert Cy Green, a true Pontiac legend. To the community of Pontiac, see, you thought that we weren't listening, but we were absolutely listening when you all told us that when we were doing these Legends and Trailblazers that we need to go ahead and add another category, and that was athletics. So that's exactly what we did. So a year ago, we came out the gates with an absolute knockout. We're talking about the heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. Pinklin Thomas. So we had to follow that up with somebody that was just equally as great and impactful and world-shaking. And that's what we did. So ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please join me as you put your hands together for the one, the only, Mr. Michael Campanella Campy Russell. Mr. Campy Russell is a basketball icon, respected broadcaster, and dedicated ambassador for the game. A Pontiac, Michigan native, he earned the nickname Campy during his time at Pontiac Central High School, a name that has since become synonymous with excellence both on and off the court. Now in his 22nd season with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Mr. Russell serves as the Director of Alumni Relations, where he plays a pivotal role in engaging former Cavalier players and fostering connections with the organization and its passionate fan base. Under his leadership, Cavaliers legend actively participate in community outreach, special events, and charitable initiatives, ensuring that the team's rich history remains an integral part of its present and future. In addition to his front office role, Campy is a trusted voice in basketball analysis, providing expert commentary on Valley Sports, Ohio's pregame and postgame show, Cavaliers Live. As a player, Mr. Russell left an indelible mark on the NBA. A first-round pick 8th overall to be exact, in the 1974 NBA draft out of the University of Michigan. He played 10 seasons in the league, 7 with the Cavaliers from 74 to 80, 84 to 85 when he came back, and 3 years with the New York Knicks, which is 1980 to 1983. A 1979 NBA All-Star, he led the league in three-point field goal percentage during the 1981-82 season, and remains in the Cavaliers' all-time top 10 in multiple statistical categories. His contributions to the franchise were immortalized when he was introduced into the Cavaliers' Wall of Honor in 2022, alongside Gordon Gunn, the legendary Lenny Wilkens, and World B. Free. He has also been honored as a member of the Cavaliers' all-time team. Beyond his playing career, Campy has remained a key figure in basketball and community engagement. Since rejoining the Cavaliers in 2002, he has been instrumental in sales and community relations and youth basketball programs. In 2004, he pioneered the Cavaliers' annual Black Heritage Celebration, one of the most comprehensive cultural initiatives in the NBA to date. His impact has been recognized with numerous accolades, including induction into the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame in 2014, the Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation Lifetime Achievement Award in 2019, and most recently, the American Basketball Hall of Fame in 2024. A proud alumnus of the University of Michigan, Mr. Russell completed his degree in sports management and communications in 2000 and was inducted into the university's Hall of Honor. Above all, he cherishes his family life with his wife, Robin, their 5 children, Oyen, Mandisa, Sakai, Alex, and Michael II, and their 15 beloved grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about a legacy, you don't have to look far. I ask that you, wherever you sit, wherever you stand, Pontiac, please put your hands together for the one, the only, the legendary Mr. Michael Campanella Campy Russell, a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Russell. Congratulations, Mr. Russell.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the 4th Pontiac Legends and Trailblazers celebration. I want to thank the Ascend Foundation and ACE Veteran Services and their committee members and President and CEO Keynote Phillips for this Lifetime Achievement Award. I want to congratulate all honorees of the class of 2025. I want to acknowledge my family, my wife Robin, our 5 children, our 5 adult children, Oyen, Mandisha, Michael II, Sakai, and Alex, as well as our 15 grandchildren, which I will not give their names at this particular point because there's so many of them, there's 15. I stand here because of the work ethic of this community and the many relationships that was formed from my childhood until now, right here in Pontiac, that still exist today. Those relationships help me understand grace, faith, belief, and confidence, and have all served me well. On behalf of our family members, past, present, and future, I accept this award.
Ladies and gentlemen, you said you wanted incredible. So that's exactly what we just brought you. You just heard this man's story. You just heard this man's voice. You just saw what it looks like to go ahead and give 6 decades of service and contribution to not only the athletic field, but also to the community as a whole. This is what it looks like, and this man makes Pontiac look amazing. So that's why I ask that you please put your hands together one more time for the legendary Mr. Campy Russell, a true Pontiac legend. But next, it's only right that we get an opportunity to go ahead and do something a little bit different this evening. What we wanted to go ahead and do is we want to pay homage to all those individuals that we have had, not only tonight, but historically over the years, that have received so many of these different awards for our Legends and Trailblazers event. But on top of that, we also want to pay homage to the ones that these awards have been named after. So we had a group of individuals that decided to go ahead and come together during our election period to put together a video, something that was actually motivated by one legendary individual, which is Attorney Lois Williams, who walked away from the actual legal field just to go into the field of education, to go ahead and teach youth and government. And because of this woman is the reason why we have this program that even takes place in the city. And that program brought so many of the individuals that's about to come across your computer screen in this video together. And it's those educational components that we were able to go ahead and comprise and give you this video to go ahead and let you know that, number one, we were listening in those classroom settings, but also we wanted to go ahead and make sure that we were leaving a trail for our younger generation to go ahead and follow. So ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please join me as we go ahead and play this video that's going to go ahead and let you know exactly what the educational process needs to look like, but also we hope it makes you proud. Pontiac, sit back and enjoy.
To our brothers, this message is to you. This 2024 election is absolutely critical. The time for us to get off the couch and vote is now. We cannot afford to sit this one out. Too much dependent on it.
Our presidential and congressional elections have the power to put those in place that will affect our ongoing shifts in laws as well as financial outcomes. This affects our day-to-day lives.
With this electoral college system and gerrymandering consistently being used to suppress the brown and black vote, it is imperative that we vote in large numbers. This is our way of controlling and overcoming these barriers.
Our ancestors fought and gave their lives for us to have the power and right to vote. Many died before ever seeing their dream fulfilled. Around 34 million potential black voters will be eligible to vote during this election, which means we have the power to really make a difference.
In 1870, the 15th Amendment was supposed to give all races the power to vote. However, none of that happened. This amendment brought state constitutional changes that enhanced anti-voting laws, poll taxes, literacy tests, and outright intimidation. This marked the beginning of voter suppression.
The Voting Rights Act of 1965 finally secured voting rights for all races and genders. So many people have fought for us to have this right. How could we disrespect their sacrifice? We owe them so much more than that.
So many men and women who have been just as impacted or incarcerated have been told that they have lost their power to vote forever. That is absolutely false. Matter of fact, at the moment of your release, your rights are reinstated. Let's not let your voice go to waste.
So many people are worried about the federal elections that they overlook what affects them immediately, and that's our local elected positions.
We have to understand how crucially important it is when we not only elect our mayor and city council, but also our county commissioner, school board, county prosecutors, and sheriff.
These positions are directly in place to shape the outcomes of a school district and the well-being of our children, as well as the suite of services that a city provides its citizens.
City services like housing, recreation, public safety, public works and economic development. Who don't want to live in a city where their family can have adequate housing, safe streets, with the promise of economic prosperity?
In our schools, every family should feel like they're sending their kids to a safe environment where they will get the best education humanly imaginable. Our kids deserve it. This is our right. This is what your vote controls.
We have to educate ourselves, have conversations with our families and friends about the issues that affect our communities, research the candidates, and then show up together on November 5th to make our ancestors proud to know that the sacrifice was not in vain. Remember, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams.
Please understand, your vote matters.
Get out to vote.
Hey, get out to vote.
Hey, yo, get out to vote.
Get out to vote.
Get out to vote.
Because our future depends on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw a whole bunch of Pontiac products over here representing. And I hope you see that this younger generation is trying to go ahead and do everything in its power to make all of our senior citizens proud. And that's what we hope that video gave to you. This is what it needs to look like. Y'all have given us so much. And so it's time for us to go ahead and make sure that we pay it forward. And so that's what we went to do with this video. So it was an honor to be able to produce it. It was an honor for the filming team to be able to film it. And it was even bigger honor to be able to go ahead and have those individuals deliver it the way that they delivered. So to all my brothers who were part of the video, I wanted to go and say thank you so much for giving us a piece of you. But next, it's only right that we go ahead and get into an individual that kind of motivated some of the people that you saw on that video screen. I'm talking about an award that's named after Miss Alois Williams and Miss Joanne Battle, two legendary educators. But as opposed to me getting long-winded more than I already have on this computer screen, let me go ahead and get us into this next award. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. This next award going out to our honorees is named after two absolute legends in the educational field. I'm speaking about none other than Miss Joanne Battle and Miss Alois Williams, Esquire. Miss Joanne Battle was born in Huntsville, Alabama, and she departed this earth on June 28, 2011. She matriculated to Tuskegee University Institute, which is a historical HBCU, and she graduated with a degree in secondary education. She later earned a master's degree from the University of Michigan in 1970. It was in that same year she was offered a teaching position at Pontiac School District, where she began a 39-year tenure, which included 32 as an English teacher, 3 as an assistant principal, and 4 as a principal, 38 of which were spent at her beloved Pontiac Northern High School. Over the years, Miss Battle received honors too numerous to list in detail. However, some of them included Oakland County, awards from Oakland County, the city of Pontiac, Pontiac School District, and also the state of Michigan. She also received awards from the Boy Scouts of America. She also joined a multitude of organizations and entities as well. Entities such as becoming a member of Welcome Missionary Baptist Church. She joined the Queens of Sheba, Chapter 15, the Order of Eastern Stars, the phenomenal Red Hatters, and she became a lifetime member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Miss Battle's legendary legacy in the field of education and the community in Pontiac stands unrivaled. It is with the greatest honor that I ask you to please put your hands together for a true Pontiac legend, Mrs. Joanne Battle. Next we have the incredible Miss Alois Williams, Esquire, who was born on November the 11th, 1953. Ms. Williams spent her primary and secondary education in Pontiac School District, in which she received her diploma from Pontiac Central High School. Ms. Williams went on to attend the University of Michigan, where she received her bachelor's degree in political science in 1975. She then went on to receive her Juris Doctorate degree from Wayne State University in 1978. Ms. Williams became the first African-American female lawyer from Pontiac, Michigan. She practiced law at several law firms and worked with several noteworthy attorneys such as Daryl Mitchell, the legendary Elbert Hatchett, Cyril Hall, and her longtime friend Lisa C. Watkins. After practicing law for 21 years, Ms. Williams decided that it was time to walk in her purpose, and so she went back and obtained another degree, a master's degree in education. From there, she went and pushed herself right into the Pontiac School District, where she started Pontiac's first civics program. And it's because of her right now that Pontiac has this civics program, teaching the power of the political process and educating children, making sure they understand what their purpose could be and the value that they have in looking to pursue some of these political positions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is legendary individuals like this that make Pontiac what it is. And so I ask that you put your hands together one more time for the legacy of the incredible, incomparable attorney, Alois Williams, a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, our first award recipient in the educational category this evening is an absolute force of nature. I'm speaking about a woman who has done it on a multitude of levels in the educational system here in Pontiac. I'm speaking about none other than the one, the only, Miss Billy S. Fair. Miss Fair is a distinguished educator and dedicated community leader whose career has been defined by her passion for academic excellence and her student success. Her post-secondary journey began at Jackson State University, where she earned a Bachelor's of Science degree, followed by advanced studies leading to her Master's of Science degree from both Central Michigan University and Oakland University. Committed to lifelong learning, Billy furthered her education at Michigan State University, earning an administrative certification, and continued her studies at Harvard University and Wayne State University, enhancing her expertise with the CEU credits. Billy's professional career began in public service with the City of Pontiac's Community and Human Service Department. However, her calling led her to education, where she made a profound impact as both a general education and special needs teacher. Encouraged by her administrators, she transitioned into educational leadership, first serving as an assistant principal at Jefferson Middle School, before becoming the principal of Washington Middle School. She later made history as the first school board approved principal of Pontiac High School, the newly formed Pontiac High School, during the merger, where under her leadership, the school achieved annual yearly progress status for the 2009-2010 academic year. And since that time, it hasn't been achieved yet again. Recognized for her leadership and innovation, Billy was later entrusted with launching the Pontiac School District's first magnet school, the International Technology Academy, solidifying her reputation as a visionary in education. Beyond her career, she is a Golden Life member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, presiding and also the president of Tolling for Education Foundation Incorporated, and as an active member of the For Women Only organization. A devoted traveler and collector of cultural artifacts, Billy also enjoys playing bridge and bid whist. Guided by her faith, she holds Psalms 91 close to her heart, believing in the power of divine protection. She lives by the words of Malcolm X. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Ladies and gentlemen, for your approval, I ask that you please put your hands together and help me and join me in welcoming Miss Billy Fair to your computer screen. Take it away, Miss Fair, and congratulations, ma'am.
Greetings. It isn't every day that you receive recognition for your work and accomplishment. It is truly a very humbling experience to receive this award from the Ascend Foundation. It has always been my desire to make a difference and to give back to those students who I encountered in a very positive way. During my career as an educator, a school administrator, it provided me the opportunity to multiply my work and also to put programs in place that yield greater student achievement. Today, as president of Tolling for Education Foundation Incorporated, I am blessed to work with a group of dynamic women who are committed to making a difference in the community, also to supporting student achievement and alleviating financial barriers for those students who are pursuing post-secondary education. Again, my appreciation to the Ascend Foundation for bestowing this award on me. And congratulations to them on the wonderful work they are doing in the community. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Malcolm X. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I say that I am loving life, I am absolutely loving life. This is what it's all about. I told you we were going to have a party this evening, and this party is going to go ahead and we're going to celebrate these guests of honor, these absolute legends, those individuals that gave everything of themselves to make sure that Pontiac was going to look good and the people of Pontiac was going to be taken care of. So to you, Miss Billy Fair, I want to say to you, thank you so much for your contribution. And today we celebrate you and we salute you. Congratulations, ma'am. But next, since we're talking about legends, let's go over to the north side of town. I'm talking about none other than Pontiac Northern High School. That's right, Huskies, stand up. Pontiac Central, don't worry about it. We all one. It's all Pontiac and it's all in love. But this man did so much dynamic work out of that building, it absolutely has to be lifted up in this moment. I'm speaking about someone that gave it to us on the athletic side, but also gave it to us from the classroom. I'm speaking about none other than the one, the only, Mr. Tarleton R. Small. Mr. Small grew up in a small town in eastern North Carolina as the only son of Mr. and Mrs. Tarleton Small, surrounded by 4 sisters. With a childhood shaped by hard work, a love for reading, and a passion for sports, he excelled as a student athlete in both football and baseball, particularly thriving on the baseball field. After graduating high school, Mr. Small attended North Carolina State University to study electrical engineering. At the time, NC State had yet to integrate black athletes into the sports program, leaving unanswered questions about his potential collegiate athletic career. Ultimately, he transferred to the HBCU, Elizabeth City State University, where he earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in mathematics in 1968. His professional journey began as a mathematics teacher at E.J. Hayes High School in Williamston, North Carolina, where he had the unique opportunity to work alongside the legendary coach, Herman Boone, whose leadership was later immortalized in the film Remember the Titans. Inspired by Coach Boone's discipline and mentorship, Mr. Small carried those lessons forward when he was recruited to teach mathematics in the Pontiac School District. His first assignment was team teaching math at Kennedy Junior High School. While initially interested in coaching football, no positions were available, so he volunteered with Lincoln Junior High School's C football team. The following year, with a little convincing from Mr. Bob Kent, he took on the role of cross-country coach at Kennedy Junior High, despite never having seen a cross-country meet before in his life. With Bob as his guide, he learned the sport and even took his team to a competition in Bay City. In 1974, when 9th graders moved to Pontiac High School, Mr. Small transitioned into athletics administration, taking on one of the roles of ticket manager at Pontiac Northern High School under the legendary athletic director, Hercules Renda. Immersing himself in the full scope of the school's athletic programs, he was promoted to assistant athletic director in 1979 throughout his career. Mr. Small considered himself incredibly fortunate to have worked alongside Hall of Fame coaches and mentors, including Hercules Renda, Tony Pizza, Bill Willison, and the legendary Cy Green, James Nelson, Dave Schmidt, and also Mr. Jimmy King, who was also an award recipient a couple of years back. In 1981 and 82, the Pontiac School District faced the unprecedented cancellation of all sports programs. This led to an exodus of student athletes transferring to other districts and several coaches stepping away from the positions. In August of 1982, following the retirement of Mr. Herc Renda, Mr. Small stepped up as athletic director, determined to rebuild the district's athletic programs with the support of new and experienced coaches. The department worked tirelessly to restore competitive sports to Pontiac. Under his leadership, the district began hosting league and district competitions in wrestling, track, and cross country. With help from legendary figures like Kermit Ambrose, Dale Cutchie, and Coach Nelson, and Coach King, Pontiac sports programs regained their strength and spirit. It found its wings again. A significant milestone in his career came in 1986 when he collaborated with Dale Cutchie to establish the annual Pontiac Northern 9th grade invitational track meet. What started as a new initiative blossomed into a staple event continuing for decades. As of 2013, the meet celebrated its 27th year, welcoming an average of 10 boys teams annually. Mr. Tarleton R. Small's career has been one of dedication, resilience, and a passion for shaping young athletes and students. Through education, coaching, and athletic administration, he has left an indelible mark on the Pontiac community, influencing generations of student athletes to rise, compete, and achieve greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with the greatest honor that I ask that you please put your hands together one more time for the man himself, Mr. Tarleton Smalls, a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Mr. Small.
I would like to thank Mr. Keynote Phillips and the ACES Foundation for honoring me with this beautiful trophy. The two wonderful ladies whose names are on the trophy were beneficial in helping me to be successful as a teacher and an athletic director for Pontiac Northern High School. Miss Joanne Battle and Miss Eloise Williams were always there for me. I'd like to mention the fact that I was lucky enough to meet the managers of the Hilda E. Bressler Foundation scholarships from Milford, Michigan. These were the people who granted millions of dollars in scholarships, both here in the United States and Great Britain. They asked me to write a proposal. I submitted a proposal and they accepted it. I immediately met with the student counselors and they were able to help more than 70 students earn scholarships from 1998 until 2021. I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to help so many students have the opportunity to get a college education. I'd like to, at this point, thank my family for always supporting me in all of my endeavors. Thanks again.
Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please join me one more time in saying congratulations to the incredible, incomparable Mr. Tarleton Small, a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. But next, let's go to our next category, which is political activism. And boy, you talking about some amazing individuals? Well, let's go ahead and get into those awards. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, this next award going out to our honoree is named after one absolute political trailblazing powerhouse who set the tempo of politics in this community of Pontiac. I'm talking about the man none other than Charlie J. Harrison Jr. He was the first individual to go ahead and go to the State House to go ahead and hold multiple terms before we got to term limitations. And I believe he was up there for 18 years in that position until finally he decided to go ahead and come home after meeting term limits to become the first individual to come from the State House back to the community of Pontiac to become mayor of the great city of Pontiac until before he ended up meeting his untimely demise. But through all of his travels, this man impacted this community and the state of Michigan like none other. He did it through a multitude of organizations. Organizations like the Oakland County Branch NAACP, the 100 Club, Oakland County Democratic Committee, the Pontiac Area Urban League, Clinton Valley Center Advisory Committee, Boy Scouts of America in Oakland County, Society of African American Police, Oakland County Human Resources Committee, New Life Committee to Fight Drug Abuse, and also Oakland County Coalition for Welfare Rights. And there's a multitude of other things. I'm talking about this list stems on to about another 100 organizations that this man impacted through either a leadership capacity or from participation capacity. This is what we're talking about, Pontiac. These are the type of individuals that ran through our city for a multitude of years, and that's why tonight we take the opportunity to go ahead and honor their existence with naming these awards after them and also putting these awards in the hands of people that are worthy to go ahead and hold that mantle up. So ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please put your hands together one more time for the legacy of Charlie J. Harrison Jr., a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, our next award recipient for the political category should be no stranger to hardly any of you because you see him everywhere, especially when it's involving children and youth programs and athletics and education. And that is the reason why we're honoring this man here this evening for the work he's been able to go ahead and do, especially on the Board of Education, but also with a lot of these youth programs around the city. I'm speaking about none other than the one, the only, Mr. Richard T. C. Mr. Richard C. has been a dedicated leader and change maker in the Pontiac community for over 30 years. Civic engagement runs deep in his family, as he is the first cousin of the Honorable Preston G. Thomas Sr., former judge of the 50th District Court, and Everett L.C., longtime Pontiac City Council member and former president. Richard has proudly served as the president of the Pontiac Panthers youth football and cheerleading organization for over a decade. He and his wife, Lena L. Chisholm, have been married for 20 years and are proud parents of 3 children, Trajan, Kwanye, and Vegas, a product of the Pontiac Public School System. Mr. C went on to earn a bachelor's degree in computer information systems and a master's degree in business administration with a concentration in information resource management. His extensive career in information technology includes leadership roles in management, budgeting, risk analysis, and project supervision. He spent 19 years with the City of Pontiac, 15 of which he managed the information technology management system. He later joined Bank of America's Global Network Infrastructure Solutions, before transitioning to Ford Motor Company, where he currently serves as a Senior Implementation Engineer, Project Manager in Global Storage Engineering Solutions. Additionally, Richard shared his expertise for 17 years as an adjunct professor at the University of Phoenix, Detroit Metro campuses, Central Michigan University, and also Wayne State University. Richard's journey into community activism began unexpectedly when he voiced concerns about neglected park maintenance to the Pontiac City Council. His advocacy caught the attention of the legendary late Mayor Wallace E. Holland, leading to his involvement in the mayor's administration. Working alongside Deputy Mayor Emmett Elliott Jr., Mr. C played a key role in the youth initiative, drug and alcohol awareness programs, and senior recreation activities in the city of Pontiac. He represents Pontiac at high-profile events, working with figures such as U.S. President George W. Bush, Michigan Governor John Engler, and the past Detroit mayor, the legendary Coleman Young. In 1990, Mr. C organized Pontiac's first Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. March and Rally, a tradition that continues today. In 1994, he was elected as a school board trustee, the youngest elected official in Pontiac's history at the time. Over 12 years, he served 9 years in leadership roles, including board president and treasurer. Under his leadership, the district implemented key initiatives such as all-day pre-K and kindergarten programs, middle school sports funding, and 90-minute reading and math initiatives, and the integration of technology in education, which was absolutely powerful. He was also instrumental in dissolving the long-standing desegregation order affecting the school district. Though not currently in public office, Richard remains an active and influential figure, offering mentorship, strategic advice, and campaign consultation for community and union initiatives. His attributes are legendary. His political foundation to the mentorship of esteemed local leaders include Clarence E. Phillips, Leo Bowman, Judge Leo Bowman, and the late Wallace E. Holland. Mr. Richard T. C's lifelong commitment to civic engagement, education, and community betterment continues to shape Pontiac's future. This is what it looks like to be an emblematic and legendary leader in this community. This is the reason why we are honoring this man here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with the greatest honor and privilege that I ask that you please put your hands together as we honor the one, the only, the true Pontiac legend himself, Mr. Richard C., a true Pontiac legend. Take it away, Mr. C., and thank you, sir.
Mr. Phillips, I'd like to personally thank you, the members of the Ascend and ACES Veteran Services. I am tremendously honored to be a recipient of this august group of the class of 2025. In acceptance of this award, I want to recognize authentic role models of my life that initiate with the group to which I am the patriarch of. My wife, Lena, and 3 sons, Trajan, Kwanye, and Vegas. In addition, I want to acknowledge my parents, Louis and Marie, along with my siblings, Jerry and Vicky. These collective 8 individuals are responsible immensely for molding me into whatever person I am today. It again is a great tribute to be recognized as an honoree of the 4th annual Pontiac Legends and Trailblazers Black History Celebration. I proudly received this award on behalf of the dynamic forefathers and foremothers that traveled this path long before me, and those who took the time to lift me abroad their shoulders and mentored me in preparedness for such a day. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about the word incredible, you just saw it come across your computer screen. I ask that you put your hands together one more time for the man himself, Mr. Richard C., a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together one more time. But next, when you use the word legendary, you don't have to look too far. Not too much further than this man I'm about to bring across your computer screen next. I'm talking about someone who has been truly blazing trails in the political sector. And that's the reason why we're sitting here tonight to go ahead and honor him. The person that I'm speaking about is none other than the one, the only, my brother, Mr. Lee Jones. Lee Jones is a proud resident of Pontiac, Michigan. Mr. Jones has spent decades shaping the community through leadership, advocacy, and service. Though born in Longview, Texas, Lee has deeply embedded his Southern roots into the fabric of Pontiac, becoming a pillar of strength and guidance for those around him. A graduate of Pontiac Northern High School, Mr. Jones pursued higher education at Oakland Community College and later carried his educational endeavors over to Oakland University, laying the foundation for a career defined by dedication to people and progress. Lee's professional journey began at General Motors, where his natural leadership quickly propelled him from steward to committeeman and then ultimately to shop chairman. His ability to negotiate and advocate for workers caught the attention of the UAW leadership, leading to his appointment as a servicing representative and later as assistant director to the UAW vice president. That's what I'm talking about, Pontiac. Beyond the shop floor, Lee has been an influential voice in Pontiac's civic landscape. He served as both a city council member and city council president, helping to shape policies that impact residents on a day-to-day basis. His commitment to social justice and labor rights is reflected in his leadership roles, including, but not to be overlooked, president of the Coalition of Black Trades Union, that's CBTU, lifetime member of the NAACP, as well as the keynote speaker at the NAACP Freedom Fund Awards Dinner. He's also a longtime member of the Labor Council for Latin American Advancement. That's the LCLAA. That's right. I'm talking about carrying over all kinds of racial lines. This is what an impact player should look like. This is what an impact player is, and he's coming right from the walls of Pontiac. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In his heart stronghold, this family means everything to him. Lee is married to his beautiful and loving wife, Francine, and they have two amazing children, Marcus and Maurice Jones. Today, Lee remains a trusted advisor, mentor, and advocate, serving on various community boards and continuing to be a pivotal force in Pontiac's growth. His legacy of leadership is not just in this position he has held, but in the lives he has touched and the future he continues to help shape. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with the greatest honor and privilege that I ask that you please put your hands together as we celebrate the legacy of the one, the only, Mr. Lee Jones, a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and join me in welcoming Mr. Jones to the computer screen this evening. Take it away, Mr. Jones, and once again, Lee, congratulations, sir.
Thank you. On behalf of the Sin Foundation and ACES Veteran Services, and especially Mr. Keynote Phillips, I want to thank you for acknowledging me with this precious award of the Charlie J. Harrison Award. It's truly a blessing being honored by the organization and also receiving this award along with the lifetime and long members that have received these awards before me and with me today. It's truly a blessing. And glory be to God. To look back over the time of, we call service, and you look at who helped you get to where you are today. I look at my mother and I look at my father. Both were school teachers in the city of Pontiac. My father was a veteran. I'm looking at this, he was a veteran of World War II, 761st Tank Battalion. Also service. I look at my family as being dedicated to the city of Pontiac, not only as school teachers, both parents, but years ago, my father ran Hayes Jones Community Center on his days off. And in the wintertime, he did Murphy Park for tobogganing and sledding on his days off. So service has been a natural to me growing up as a child. And we always used to say, if you can be one half of what your father was, you're doing okay. And I'm trying to live up to what he did as a father to us, knowing how to balance time with family, community, and support. And I look
further than that, how I advanced through the community embracing me on all the challenges we went through, all the growth I experienced from being a city council president, a city council person. I'm looking at one of the awards, the award he's given is Michael Campanella Russell. When I was 20-something years old, living on the South Side, him and I ran for the same seat. He won, but that really got me more engaged to stay active and going to be a council person years to come. With the support from the family, my wife Francine for over 44 years, my two sons, Marcus and Maurice, it was shared sacrifice that allowed us to be where we are today, supporting the community, supporting our family, because you had to give up time. And I believe time is the only thing that you can spend and can't get back. So it's an honor for me accepting this award. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this is what this evening is supposed to be about. And wow, we have one sensational one because we just got a chance to go and bring two men that came across this screen in the field of politics to go ahead and receive an award that was named after one of the most legendary political figures that have ever touched the community of Pontiac, and Mr. Charlie Harrison. And everything he's been able to go ahead and provide, and the footprints that he wouldn't put in the snow or in the sand, to go ahead and give us that guidance, that direction, to be able to become everything that we need these individuals to become, to make sure we're going to push Pontiac forward. One on the educational side and one on the municipality side. So to you, Mr. Lee Jones, and to you, Mr. Richard C., I want to say congratulations again, gentlemen, and salute. So let's get to our next category, which is activism. And do we have some powerhouses coming up? Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, this next award going out to our honorees is named after an absolute trailblazing powerhouse in the field of activism. I'm speaking about none other than the Reverend Milton Henry Esquire. Reverend Milton Henry passed away at the age of 87. But with his time on this earth, he served as a civil rights lawyer who sought to create a provisional government of former slave states. In the late 1960s, Reverend Henry sought for $200 million in reparations from the federal government to create a black country in Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Louisiana, and Mississippi. He felt the need to do this because no matter how hard African Americans fought for freedom and equality, we were still unable to go ahead and be able to achieve that goal. So, and it's because of these fights and plights, he found himself, his life, and his family in danger on a regular basis. So bad that for over a year, they had to actually set up a wall, a barrier of African-American men and Caucasian men who actually band together to go ahead and sit outside of his house for a year's time to make sure that he and his family stayed safe because of threats coming from the Ku Klux Klan. And this was right here in Michigan, I might add, too, Pontiac. But beyond that, for him to go ahead and get this status, he ended up taking his education down to the legendary HBCU, Lincoln University, where he graduated in 1947. And he also became a member of the historical African-American fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, which also serves as my fraternity as well. But also he went on to earn his law degree from Yale University in 1950. He was a Pontiac commissioner from 1954 to 1960 and was a member of the Tuskegee Airmen during the World War II period. And he served with the late Coleman Young, which also served as the first mayor, black African-American mayor of Detroit. It was because of his fights, his battle, and his plights that he ended up becoming really good friends with the legendary, incomparable Malcolm X, where ultimately he served as a pallbearer at his funeral. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to please put your hands together for the legendary and the incomparable Reverend Milton Henry Jr., a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, when you want to talk about explosive and impactful, you don't have to look too far. All you got to go and do is look at this individual that we're about to bring across your computer screen next. I'm talking about somebody, if you take nitro and if you take glycerin, you put it together, it's going to be absolutely explosive. And that explains this woman that we're about to go ahead and bring to you next. I'm talking about none other than the one, the only, and I do mean a woman that means everything to me, Miss Leona Patterson. Miss Leona Patterson was exposed to the importance of community service and civic engagement at an early age. As both of her parents were politically and civically active, her mother being an absolute legend herself. Along with her sister, she attended meetings where she learned the value of giving back to the community. After relocating to Pontiac, Michigan, Miss Patterson's mother maintained her commitment to civic and political involvement, which continued to influence Leona's own actions. This dedication led to Miss Patterson to participate in numerous local and national civil rights activities. Among these were the campaign for the first African American elected to the Pontiac School District, as well as the election of attorney Milton Henry as a Pontiac City Commissioner. Miss Patterson also marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Salem and contributed to fundraising efforts for legal action aimed at desegregating Pontiac schools. Additionally, Leona was arrested while protesting the Pontiac School District's attempts to implement a new plan that would have put the district back in segregation. As an employee of the Pontiac Urban League, Miss Patterson was deeply involved in recruiting African Americans for employment opportunities with major local institutions, including the City of Pontiac, General Motors, Pontiac General Hospital, and Pontiac Schools. During her time at the League, Leona also wrote and secured grants to support youth and community involvement in the school desegregation process. In her work as a community organizer for the U.S. Department of Education, Ms. Patterson assisted school districts under federal orders to desegregate. She also worked for the state of Michigan, helping school districts develop support service plans to integrate special education students into vocational educational programs. As the community social worker for a Pontiac housing complex, Ms. Patterson secured funding to provide residents with opportunities to achieve self-sufficiency and economic independence. The complex was the very first in Pontiac to establish a community-based computer learning center, which later received HUD's best practice recognitions. That is something that is absolutely huge and unprecedented, and Pontiac hasn't seen it since. The success of this initiative led to the concept being replicated at 4 additional city complexes by Pontiac United. Throughout her career, Ms. Patterson has remained dedicated to volunteer work and community service. Notable volunteer activities include, and not to go ahead and be missed out on, which is Career Opportunity Programs, a partnership between Pontiac Schools and Oakland University, supporting the transition of paraprofessionals to certified teachers. The Matching Nutrition Center, over 30 years of volunteer services, organization support services for the homeless and underemployed, as well as for individuals and families reliant on third-party incomes. She's become the co-chair for Healthy Affairs, the largest free health fair in Oakland County. She's active involvement with the Pontiac OU Pontiac initiative since its inception, as well as serving in the city as the Pontiac Anti-Violence Commission rep. As you can see, Ms. Leona Patterson is an absolute powerhouse that has demonstrated a lifelong commitment to a community development and service with a strong focus on civil rights, education, and economic empowerment. And guess what, Pontiac? She's ours. Ladies and gentlemen, for your approval, I ask that you please join me in putting your hands together to the one, the only, Miss Leona Patterson, a true Pontiac legend. Thank you, Ms. Patterson, and take it away, ma'am.
I'm very happy to receive this award, although I don't think I really deserve it, because anything that I've done, I've had other people involved with me, or I was involved with them. But I'm really happy that I'm receiving the award named after Milton Henry, because he was one of my mentors as a young lady and also when I was a college student. When I went to jail in Alabama, he was the one that came down to Alabama and brought me and my sister home. So, and then when he lived on the same street we did in Philadelphia, and then he lived on the same street when we moved to Pontiac. And one of the things we learned from him was that we had to be involved if we wanted to improve the situations around us and also to achieve the goals we needed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go back to a statement that I made earlier in this program when I said I was loving life. When I say I'm loving life, I am loving life because of what you just saw that came across this computer screen. This magnificent woman has given so many different contributions to this community and in this county as a whole, this state. You heard her battles and struggle. This started with a march with Dr. Martin Luther King, and she brought all that energy right here to the community of Pontiac. And guess what, Pontiac? She is absolutely ours, and I am loving it. But since we're in the sport of calling people ours, then let me go ahead and give you somebody else who's ours. This person is an individual that has given so much to young men. He's given a lot to young ladies too, but what he's been able to mean to us as men. I'm talking about someone who's a manly man, which is something that we as men need to go ahead and see the example of, because we need to go ahead and stand on business when it comes to laying down the foundations in our household to make sure our households are going to be good. And this is what this man exudes and exemplifies. I'm speaking about somebody who I call Pop, but for this conference, for this program, we're going to go ahead and give you his government name. I'm talking about the one and only, the legendary Mr. Melvin Whiteside. Mr. Whiteside was born on November 17th, 1946 in Mount Clemens, Michigan, to Sammy and Flora Whiteside. As the third of 5 children, he grew up in a diverse community that shaped his lifelong commitment to unity and leadership. A standout student, he played a real key role in fostering racial harmony within the Mount Clemens school system, serving as the inaugural leader of an interrelationship club dedicated to improving race relations. His athletic abilities, particularly in softball, also made a lasting impact. Upon graduating from high school in 1965, Melvin began his 42-year career at General Motors, taking on multiple roles from the production line to team coordination. Later in his career, his expertise was recognized when he was handpicked to join a specialized team that traveled to General Motors facilities to assess work practices and warranty variances. His commitment to labor rights also extended to his active involvement with the United Auto Workers, UAW Local 653, and the Veterans Committee. In 2007, he retired from General Motors, leaving behind a legacy of excellence and dedication. From 1966 to 1968, Melvin's life took an unexpected turn when he was drafted into the United States Armed Forces and deployed to the front lines of the Vietnam War. The harsh realities of combat and the loss of fellow soldiers deeply affected him, shaping his unwavering commitment to mentorship and advocacy upon his return home. A gifted softball player, he was a key member of 2 Michigan State championship teams in 1975 and 1985. Following his second championship, he transitioned into coaching, a role that would define his next 30 years. Coaching in both Pontiac and Mount Clemens, Mr. Whiteside saw his work as more than just a game. It was a mission. This young man he encountered in the Vietnam War never had the chance to fulfill their potential, and he made it his life's work to ensure that the youth he mentored had opportunities to succeed because they just were taken away from this world way too soon. He became more than a coach. He was a mentor, father figure, and an advocate for hundreds of young athletes who would go on to become leaders in various fields. Even after stepping away from the sidelines, his love for the game remained. And at the age of 70, he returned to the softball diamond, playing and coaching in a 70 and over league and leading his church league team to a city championship in 2014. Later in life, Mr. Whiteside was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, which is PTSD, leading him to seek both occupational and mental therapy. This personal journey ignited a new passion for veterans rehabilitation, a frequent presence at the John Dingell VA Medical Center in Detroit. He has become a vocal advocate, counseling fellow veterans and encouraging them to engage in the resources available to them. His dedication to veteran affairs is yet another extension of his lifelong commitment to service and activism. A man of deep faith, Mr. Whiteside is an ordained deacon and preacher at New Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church, where he also served as the lead biblical studies instructor at West Manor, a senior citizens community. Mr. Whiteside has shared his life's journey and his wife and companion of 46 years, Shirley Whiteside. Together, they have raised 5 amazing children, daughters Latricia and Latanya, and sons Nicholas, Darius, and Wesley. They are also proud grandparents to 11 grandchildren and great-grandparents to 3. Through his service as a soldier, mentor, coach, advocate, and man of faith, Mr. Melvin Whiteside has left a profound impact on his community. His life work exemplifies excellence in activism, proving that leadership is not just about words, but it's about action, commitment, and the relentless pursuit of uplifting others. Today, we honor and celebrate the enduring legacy of a man who has given so much to his community and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, for your approval, I ask that you please put your hands together and join me in saying congratulations to the one, the only, Mr. Melvin Whiteside, a true Pontiac legend. Take it away, Mr. Whiteside, and congratulations, sir.
On behalf of our Lord and Savior, I accept this trophy through the city of Pontiac, and I will be amiss without thanking the children that affected my life. I had so much fun coming up coaching, and also, believe it or not, I had family members of the children that asked me could they help out. Usually family members are a little hesitant. They want to see whether their children are getting the right instructions and what to do, but I had them actually ask me did I need some help, and I definitely needed some help. But on behalf, I never dreamed that I would be receiving an award for something that I enjoy doing. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, City of Pontiac, and Mr. President, which he says he's Vice President, but Keynote Phillips, send him to Lansing. Get him out of Pontiac. He can do more for Pontiac in the upper scale. So, on that behalf, my family, like I said earlier, I came to Pontiac in pursuit of my wife, which I knew her before I moved to Pontiac. And my children, I got a wonderful family. And just to say that I appreciate this, it touches my heart. Never dreamed that I would be receiving an award for something that I enjoy doing. You know, some seek award and accolades. Me, I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that I would be receiving an award. Like I said, for something that I enjoy doing. Today, the young children or the young people that I coached, when they see me, Mr. Whiteside, how are you doing? And man, it almost brings tears to my eyes that they remember me when they were 6 and 7, 9 and 10, and they still walks up, hey, Mr. Whiteside. Sometimes I don't know who it is, but they know me. Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that man you just saw, isn't he absolutely impressive? And Pontiac, once again, he is ours. His contribution, when I look at people like him, I look at the legendary Duck, I look at the legendary Rip. These are individuals, and we ain't even talking about rest in peace to the legendary Hank. These are individuals that you saw every day out in our community, making sure that he was giving all of us young men some act right. And that's what this man was able to go in and do. So, Mr. Whiteside, Pop Whiteside, I want to say thank you so much for your contribution to this community. You are appreciated, and I say congratulations, sir. But next, we want to go ahead and talk about someone who gets it done. I don't ever want to hear an excuse about what you can't do, what's impossible, what is unobtainable. Because this woman right here, she exudes and exemplifies what it looks like to go ahead and defy the odds and work so hard to go ahead and make sure she's looking out for kids and senior citizens. This woman is the epitome. She is the apex of greatness. And that's why It is with the greatest honor that we present to you someone who's last but definitely not least, a woman who I absolutely adore. I'm talking about the one and only. I call her Mama, but we're going to go ahead and give you her government name. I'm talking about Miss Rosa Randolph. Miss Rosa Randolph, more affectionately known to me as Mama Rosa, is an iconic seasoned entrepreneur and food service professional with over 40 years of experience in the industry. As the owner and president of Unique Food Management Incorporated, she has built a thriving catering business that delivers more than 15,000 meals per week to organizations such as Meals on Wheels and charter schools. Known for her visionary leadership and unwavering determination, Ms. Rosa has turned her passion for food service into a successful enterprise while maintaining a deep commitment to her community. Raised in Tennessee, Ms. Rosa grew up in a loving household with her mother and 5 siblings, where she learned the value of education, family, and also perseverance. A dedicated scholar, she earned a full academic scholarship to Tennessee State University before completing her bachelor's degree in human services at St. Mary's College in Michigan. Mama Rosa, or Miss Rosa, refined her expertise in food service management over a 19-year career at major medical facilities, including Crittenton Hospital right there in Rochester, Detroit Receiving, and Grace Hospital. However, her entrepreneurial spirit led her to establish Randy's Barbecue Carryout, and I know all of you know about Randy's over on the golf course because I think I've seen all of you sitting there eating and getting down at some point in time. And she did this while the whole time while working a full-time job. As her business grew, she took a bold step, leaving the corporate world to launch Unique Foods Management Incorporated, where she also managed the Pontiac Municipal Golf Course. Beyond her business success, Ms. Rosa is deeply committed to philanthropy and community service. She sponsors major fundraisers for Meals on Wheels and actively volunteers with organizations such as Sister to Sister at McLaren Hospital and the Pontiac Public Library. Her dedication to giving back and uplifting others remains a driving force in her life. A devoted wife, Ms. Rosa has been happily married for over 50 years and resides in Oakland County, Michigan. Her journey from humble beginnings to business success is a testament to her hard work, resilience, and passion for service. This incredible woman is the personification of the word greatness. And Pontiac, once again, this woman is ours, and I'm loving every drop of it. So it is at this time, and it's with the greatest approval, that I ask that you please put your hands together for one amazing, dynamic, tremendous woman. I'm speaking about none other than the one, the only Miss Rosa Randolph, a true Pontiac legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Miss Rosa Randolph.
Thank you, Keynote. It is an extremely honor and a privilege to be able to accept this award tonight for all the things that I feel in this community that I help and support for the seniors. At the present time, we serve about 285 seniors a day that we go to the home to do, along with the trying to feed the kids in the summertime when there's no other means of food when school is out. So it is really a pleasure and an honor. I want to thank the people in the community for my support, and especially my family, my husband, my daughters, my nieces, and my nephew for the support, and the community for support that they have done in order to support me. And above all, I also want to thank the Meals on Wheels board, who has been very, very instrumental in feeding the seniors in Pontiac. As of to this day, we feed 285 seniors a day. We get probably donation on a 10% return. So that's why we do the fundraisers that we do. Fundraisers coming up this year, so please keep the Meals on Wheels in mind and help us to continue to feed the seniors.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you are absolutely as excited about tonight as we have been. We've got a chance to go ahead and truly honor some of our amazing trailblazers. These are the individuals that have done so much for this community. So when you see them out here in the streets, I need you all to do me a favor. Just take a moment to pull them aside just to say thank you. Thank you for your contributions, and thank you for everything you've been able to go ahead and do for us, to go ahead and put us in a situation, number one, that makes Pontiac look good, and also in a position that lets us understand that the community of Pontiac is going to be great for the next generation that's going to come behind. Well, we got to go ahead and pick up that baton, and we got to carry it and carry it well. So younger generation, I'm calling you out for us to go ahead and follow in those footsteps, but also to go ahead and blaze trails for this younger generation coming behind us. So for all of our award recipients, I want to say to you, thank you so much again. But it's only right that we go ahead and hear from that younger generation of which I just spoke about. I'm talking about young individuals who they're the ones that's going to be generation next. They're the ones that's going to go ahead and to usher us to the next phase of what existence looks like for us. And I'm telling you, if you say that Pontiac doesn't have a lot of amazing kids or young minds, I just don't think you know the individuals that I know, because I'm about to bring one of them to the computer screen to you this evening. I'm speaking about a young lady who has been absolutely sensational, and I've had the honor of being in her life since she was a little kid herself, and to watch her go ahead and become the woman that she's become, because yes, she's a young lady at this particular point in time, and I am so proud. And Pontiac, I hope she's going to make you proud when she comes across and says the things she's about to go and say to you. So it's with the greatest honor that I ask that you please join me in welcoming to your computer screen this evening to give the young perspective or the youth perspective on Pontiac and what this whole program means. I'm asking you please put your hands together for the one, the only, Miss Lauren McNair. Take it away, Lauren.
Thank you, Mr. Kano, for that awesome introduction. But in history, we often talk about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and all the people we hear about in the classroom, while we overlook the ones who aren't so much talked about, like Malcolm X and Diane Nash and W.E.B. Du Bois. But the people who are overlooked the most are the people right here in our own community, the people that programs like this get to celebrate. And that's why I'm so honored to be a part of the Ascend Foundation, to be here tonight to celebrate all these amazing people, these amazing trailblazers that really do everything for our community. And they have given me the blueprint to do the stuff that I do and give back to the community. And that's why I love helping our community so much. And they really showed me what I need to be like and what Black excellence really is. Pontiac, I guarantee you, I will not let you down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's all about. And I'm telling you, this has been one amazing evening. And I love it when we end it and we end it right. We just ended with this young powerhouse that you just saw. I'm talking about none other than Miss Lauren McNair, who I've had the honor of watching since she was a little kid, grow up into the young woman that she is today. And she's in college and she is making us look good too. This is what young greatness looks like. But this is why we have to keep doing the things that we do. Our older generation, the ones that we set up and celebrated tonight, I want to say thank you. Words can express how much we all appreciate your contribution to this community and this world. And for blazing those trails for individuals like myself, and for people that's in my age bracket, I'm calling you out. Bottom line to it is we have a responsibility. They gave to us, and now it's our turn to turn around and make sure we get to that generation coming behind us. That's why we got to go ahead and roll up our sleeves, be pinpoint accurate, precise, and make sure that we're getting it done, because failure is not an option. When it comes to our kids, failure is never an option. But that being said, I've already been long-winded enough. I just want to say to everybody that came and tuned in this evening, thank you so much for coming in and being a part of our celebration. We got a chance to go ahead and truly let some of the greats understand exactly how appreciated that they are. And we saw a few thousand people that tuned in already to go ahead and see this event while we were streaming it. And that's what this is about. And since we're talking about streaming, let me go ahead and give credit to the company that has been the one that provided you that service this evening. I'm talking about Go to Work Movement and Media Services. That's right, Adonis. Thank you for what you do over there, man. Amazing work. You always do amazing work. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't go ahead and say thank you to our videographer extraordinaire, Miss Brooke Morgan. She always does incredible work. And a lot of the programs that you've seen for 2024, she was directly responsible for it. And as you saw the program that came through this evening, it was absolutely amazing. And we hope it met all your specifications, because we pride ourselves on making sure we give you the best product humanly imaginable. So that being said, like I said, I'm done being long-winded. I'm gonna let you get back to your evening. I hope you enjoyed your dinner, your drinks, your watch parties as you spent time with family to go ahead and celebrate these greats. And until the next time I see you, I want to go ahead and bid you adieu and say thank you again. And I look forward to seeing you at our next event. Take care and have a beautiful evening.